Hey, folks. How y'all doing today? Well, here we are back in Pantheon. We're gonna try to get to level 6 on a DireLord. While doing that, we're gonna listen to the latest Q&A from Pantheon, so maybe it'll answer some of your questions. So I got the volume of the game itself down kind of low. But anyways, the goal is to play a DireLord to 6. We did declare it very boring. Don't want to ever do it again. We played the Summoner, played the Necro. We're going to do DireLord. We're either going to do a Ranger or Paladin or maybe both. And then we're going to spin a wheel. Whatever it lands on, that's going to be my main static group tune when early access starts in December. So thank you all for watching. Enjoy. There'll probably be many deaths. You'll probably hear me pissed off. And I might just quit. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to try to get to 6 on a DireLord. No guarantees we'll even make it to 2. Might be boring. If it's worse than a cleric, I'm done. Playing something else. But let me start this stream. This is from Joppa and Savanja, I guess, doing the question and answers. So here we go.
To answer your questions. These questions were gathered ahead of time from the community on Discord and the official forums. Guys, we have had an exciting month. We dropped a huge update that includes new races.
Now I did run into town, get all my harvesting equipment, and then on my way back I killed a forest forager and got a bag, I think. Wasn't even paying attention. Yeah. Nope. Yep. Got a bag. We'll put this over here. Now, probably I will loot jute just because jute is needed for everything. But if I see ore, I'm definitely going to mine ore because I know I need ore for this character. However, I'm not too going to be big deal in crafting because they're going to wipe these characters December or November, the last day of November. I don't remember. She'll tell us in the question and answers. And then we'll go from there. So I'm not going to be big on crafting. Whatever drops, I'll wear or use just because I don't want to go through all that again until early access. Well, anyways, I'll quit interrupting and we'll start playing. How's that sound?
Is the Dark Mirror, Elf, and Halfling. We dropped new visual effects for spells and abilities, new armor models, and we added a European server to give our fans across the pond better ping times. For those who have not been keeping up with the news, we have also opened testing to the champions who can play right now, and supporters who can play as of tomorrow, Friday, through December 1st, which is when the servers will be closing for early access prep. Joppa, you want to talk about what you've been up to and what the team is working on right now?
And this is the newbie area for DireLord.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
High interest debt was holding me back. A home equity loan from Rocket Mortgage let me consolidate the debt.
And yeah, we're gonna have ads on YouTube. Sorry, I'm not.
Yes, I can say a lot of things. What do you want me to say?
YouTube TV.
Do you want me to say, hey yo, sup?
Okay. No, I thought that was gonna work. I thought that was gonna help.
Oh well, this is a good start.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're just gonna go right up here.
This would be better than Discord, guys.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
It definitely can be better once we kind of get all the kinks.
We're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna spend some time talking to somebody who is a little bit more proficient at this than I am. For now, we're good.
Okay, so on my channel, everything's back. Use Stream Together and then use Discord audio. Yeah, that sounds like it probably would help. Anyway,
maybe.
let's
Yeah.
do this.
Okay.
Let's just do this. We'll be fine.
Get her done.
We'll make it better next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question was, what? Sorry. I promise I won't make you repeat another one tonight. That's gonna be my goal.
That's a dirty, dirty lie.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so what have you been up to, and what has the team been doing?
Oh man, we are trying to get ready for EA in December. We are working on. We've just recently got the new character models in, all the new armor sets that come along with that. We've just recently gotten the Pulse engine back in and working. For the most part, there's still a few things that we need to do with that, but it is in and working. We've got we've gotten all the new visual effects in, and many more are coming in almost daily that Cody's working on. So, yeah,
Those look good too.
They look amazing. They look amazing, and it's all three of those things together has just.
All right, just show you the abilities I have. Ready Blade deals damage target, chance by 10. And that uses, I call it stamina. I don't get that unless I'm fighting. This is my taunt. It stacks. And then I got a dot for blood mix. It kind of plays like a Shadow Knight. And then what was the one in WoW? Death Knight maybe? I don't know. This is the first time playing one, so we'll see what it turns out to be. Anyways, I'll quit interrupting the little question Q&A for Pantheon.
Transformed the way the game looks and feels, so it's exciting.
It is. I've heard people say that it's looking more like a more fleshed out game, a real game. Hey yo, we're not vaporware. Okay.
Hey yo.
Yep. So, just in case anybody here has not taken a peek at the pledge page, I have tossed up a timer there because pledges, the opportunity to pledge, is coming to a close December 1st. That is when we are closing all the pledge packages, and your ability to be a founder is no longer available. You just have to be regular people after that. So if anybody was holding back, waiting to pledge, do it before that timer drops down. All right, so we have a few questions at the top that are more me questions than Joppa questions. The first one was, for Pantheon, are there any plans to share how much revenue EA is bringing in? Can you share an estimate for how many sales will be required to fund the roadmap to full release? Guys, we do not generally share financial information, and we're not gonna start doing that right now. So I wouldn't expect updates on that. Steam. The only thing I have to say about that is keep an eye out next week. Let's move on to some Joppa questions that can be answered. Would you consider a translation of the game either by hiring someone to translate it or allowing player-made translations to be used at your own risk?
Yeah, localization is something that
we
do plan to do.
Oh, can't use it till 7, but thank you.
Not right now. But no, I don't want to rely on, and we don't want to rely on player translations. We want to have it formally localized.
Yeah, that would make sense, but that sounds like a lot of work too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get the game made first, right?
Yeah, that's gonna come a little bit later.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had some crafting updates. Do you want to give a quick rundown on what's going down with that? What was changed and why?
Yep, I'm out.
Well, I don't really want to get into that too much right now because we are in the midst of a lot of just kind of, what's the right way to put it? itemization as a whole.
I
That includes
died.
crafting. It includes adventuring.
Now,
It
if somebody
includes
was
itemization
around,
that
they can get
comes
me up.
from
but-
both of those spheres. It includes quest-borne itemization. It's kind of the focus of a lot of work and discussion and stuff that we're doing internally. There's a lot of external discussion going on as well. The most recent change that we made
All
was
right.
to temporarily introduce required levels for itemization.
Well, this is where the
and
DireLords start.
that
So
has been
that helps.
somewhat helpful to us, but not entirely as helpful as we had hoped. And some of that is because the way that the end results ended up kind of getting mapped out. This didn't quite hit the mark that we were aiming for, and thus the data hasn't been super great for us. So we're looking at that again, kind of considering how we want to go back and fix that. But I mean, the point to be made overall is that come EA, I think everybody's aware that when EA begins, there's going to be, obviously the game's still in development, and there's still a good bit of development to go. So there should be expected gaps in certain things and things that aren't quite fully finished and whatnot. But our goal is, when it comes to the DNA of the game, like the way the game feels to play it, the way it feels to progress through the game, some of those fundamental DNA level things, that we want to get them as right as possible. And this is included. Itemization is a huge part of that. So
Stop.
it's probably the
screwing
thing
with
that
them pups.
has me the most stressed out right now, to be completely honest. Like, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of ways to get it wrong. So we're working on a lot of that and trying to do what we can.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that it's difficult to balance out itemization before we have everything in game. Yeah? That would
Say
be
again?
my thought. It would be difficult.
I just didn't hear it.
It would be difficult.
I didn't hear it. I wasn't not listening. I just couldn't hear it.
It would be difficult to balance
Not that
out.
I don't ever not listen to you. I'm sorry. I was fully paying attention to you. I just didn't hear it.
It would be difficult to balance out itemization before we actually have everything in the game.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That's
to
right.
Me.
That's right. It is. And, we've got a million priorities right now. So trying to thread the needle on, for example, things like professions being in for crafting, failure chance, the rate of skill gain, just there. And then for adventuring, there's other things as well for adventuring, in terms of how deep we're able to go in, like, forced spawn criteria, and how rare is rare, and just the time to come in and kind of really massage a lot of and finesse a lot of those things.
And you can see we don't have no customization abilities yet. This is just a standard female halfling look. I mean, you can't change any of the hair, face, or anything. Supposedly there's going to be some coming here, early access. I don't know. I kind of don't. I think they need more work on the races, but I'm glad that it's more than just humans now. But like, the halfling is just a short human with big ears. I mean, they don't have hairy feet, as you can see. There's no hair on the feet, no fat feet, none of that. Can't change them to be fat, short, stocky. Just, this is what you get. But that being said, again, it's beta, I guess. But here we go.
There are aspects on all sides of the itemization situation that are making it a struggle for us to get it. Not even finish it, but like just get it to a point where it's roughly from all sides, kind of as we intend it to be. Yeah. So there's a lot going on there, and be patient with us as we try to navigate through all that.
Yeah. When will group harvesting be in?
I do not know. No ETA at the moment.
Okay. Dust drop going to be fine-tuned more? Some people are having problems with dust drops. I mean, I would imagine all drops are going to be fine-tuned.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
Yeah.
is-
There's definitely still work to be done on that front.
There's still work to be done everywhere.
Hmm?
With level requirements on crafted items, when can we get crafting progression separated from adventuring progression?
That's unfortunately just about every question that relates to itemization in any way is going to get a big fat TBD, because that's literally all this stuff is kind of what
All
we're
up in the air
we're
right
working
now.
through right now.
But then
Yep.
that also means that you guys should be posting lots of feedback on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Since
Don't take that as like a leave it alone. Take that as help us
Yes.
help us with feedback,
Let
help
us
us with
know.
your perspective, player testimonials, like all these things, giving us insight into boots on the ground situation with itemization, progression, the from everything from like how like are there too many items in the game? Are there too few items in the game? Does it feel rewarding to, pursue itemization through adventuring, through crafting, through questing? Like, we're looking for hotspots, we're looking for gaps, we're looking for a lot of feedback on that front. So definitely don't be quiet about it.
Absolutely. If you're not on Discord, get on there. We have feedback channels for that. Since Pulse has been implemented into the game, have you started working on the banner system and formations for warriors?
Right now, we're working on Charm. Banners will follow Charm.
Okay. Will those get
That's
added to
nice.
the production tracker?
Working on Charm.
They should.
Shelter should be happy.
Yeah.
That's exciting. ETA on reintroducing the mastery system?
No TBD on mastery right now, other than the goal is to get, like, one of the goals we have for EA is to get all the classes up to level 40, and that means all of their abilities up to level 40, their full class kit and all that. The goal is to also balance these things, which we've been working really hard on. Once that's done, then we will be in a much better position to see where mastery upgrades should fit and how to actually make them meaningful, not overpowering, and all that. So I don't have an ETA specifically on mastery, other than it'll be it'll be during EA that we bring it back, but it'll be a little bit down the road.
Okay. Burn Eden, the final wipe before EA, I imagine, will be the servers come down December 1st. And is it safe to assume, Joppa, that they are going to wipe at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will wipe before EA begins. So
Okay.
I don't think there was going to be a wipe between now and then. Like, there's no planned wipe between now and then. But yeah, things will be wiped before EA begins.
Okay. Is there still a plan to utilize variable skill scaling based on class? For example, warriors have the best shield block rating, monks have the best hand-to-hand, DireLords have the best parry, etc.
Yes. I answered it weirdly like that because there's a lot of class specific and race specific nuances that had been built in for a long time that we've actually gotten rid of for the sake of kind of streamlining and being able to normalize for the sake of balance. But one of the goals is to look for places now on this side of things to introduce some of that again. And I've long used the example of the DireLord and their health pool as an example of where they ultimately are able to raise their health to a higher level because of the contribution they get from stamina and things like that. But we wanted to just make things really simple and really clean first, remove a lot of that stuff, and then we'll start layering that back in as we go.
A couple of months ago, you mentioned, Joppa, monks getting crushing back on the menu of abilities. Any ETA in that?
Just sometime between now and EA. That's the best ETA I can give.
Okay.
I'm sure
And will
I'm
they,
stupid for trying this, but he looks to
Get
be
the ability
alone.
to wield and dual wield the short one hand. Oh, is that 1 HB? What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
that are on the Good Die monks. Yeah. Really cool. Why does the DireLord need to wait till level 20 for a spell interrupt when we are the main
there's level
anti-caster tank? Any plans to update their abilities?
Yeah, it probably comes in too late. You can expect that to change.
Oh, good. That's exciting. When is charm and or animated pets going to be added for the enchanters?
We're working on charm right now.
Working on
Pets
charm.
for enchanters is kind of still a maybe. I want to see what happens when we bring charm online and just kind of get a sense of how that's going to feel. So I'm not. It shouldn't be just a foregone conclusion that they're going to have animations.
Wow.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with EQ, when we say animations for enchanter, we're talking about their specific kind of pet. They were called animations in EQ because they were like an animated sword and a shield, or an animated weapon and shield.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
That's what we mean by animations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shouldn't be a foregone conclusion. It's not a definite thing. But it certainly won't come in before charm is in, and we can see how charm is gonna change things.
Okay. When is charm getting in?
I'm gonna run up here, see if I can buy my spells.
Are you trolling? Are you trolling? We don't know. It's being worked on right now. TBD.
Starting to feel like your Joppa TBD. We're changing your name.
Yeah, it should be.
I don't feel as bad saying TBD though right now, because all of these things are slated to be in by the start of EA. So it's like I'm saying TBD, but everybody knows there's a very small window here that we're working with.
I know, and you guys are working your butts off for this. We know.
Yep.
We see you.
Yep.
What is the max raid size intended for release in the game? Also, if any raid content comes out in EA, what will be the intended raid size for those encounters?
So
question.
the largest raid force that we're targeting right now, and I mean, I don't care if it sounds couchy. It's one of those things that we are going to feel it out as we go, and getting into EA, especially if the community is able to grow as much as we are expecting it to and wanting it to during EA, then that is something that we will be watching and scrutinizing and making decisions and potentially making changes to our plan. But the plan right now is that a 36-person raid is kind of the largest raid force that we're planning to design content around right now. There will also, however, be 24-person raids. There will also be uncapped raids, kind of world event type things, and then also we might experiment with some 12-person content as well. Some like dual, two group kind of mini raid type things. But 36-person raids is kind of the main thing that we're planning on.
I love that. The idea of having like uncapped raids for world events is just so exciting. Can you speak on the general goal for combat pacing, resource management, downtime, time to kill, resource scarcity, and actions per minute as we get closer to early access, and how satisfied you are with these things as they exist in game today? Good luck.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance and I saved hundreds. With all the money I saved, thought I'd buy stilts. Hi, honey.
I will say that I am happier with the way the game feels right now than I have been in a very long time, maybe ever. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, and it doesn't mean that it's exactly where it needs to be in all regards, but I think there's a really nice spot we're in right now, where at-level content with groups that are at level with appropriate gear for that level, the time to kill, the resource management, the recovery, and just the general pacing of things, I feel like is in a pretty solid place, especially when we're talking about like the challenging group content. but again, it doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean it's exactly where we need it to be. Sometimes I would say
Use my
where it
essence and
deviates
see how
from
much I
being
get
fully
shielded.
pleased with it is where I feel like it can still at times be a little bit too fast. Any one of those parameters can feel a little bit too fast. Maybe it's like out of combat, recovery. Maybe it's action per minute in some cases here or there. But for the most part, I think we're doing a really good job of achieving that kind of evolution of EverQuest where it's a little bit more involved, it's a little bit more active, but not so much that it's getting into where we don't want to tread. So yeah, I'd say on the whole, I'm very pleased with it right now.
It does feel pretty good. Does feel pretty good in game right now. How do you feel about database websites? Would you rather them reduce the amount of information in order to keep the challenge alive? Or are you fine with it being optional for players to use or not use? And we've talked about this a little bit because this has come up internally. So why don't you share how you feel about it?
I mean, I do tend to take the perspective of the developer on this, where I want things to be as obfuscated and as naturally, I want things to be discovered naturally. That being said, I'm very aware that information is going to get out, and if it's just going to happen. Like, you can't point to a game that has any kind of following, any kind of player base that doesn't also have a nice compendium, a nice wiki, and things like that. So what I've always said from the beginning is that, especially with a system like Perception, the goal of how the system in itself is designed is to naturally obfuscate that kind of stuff, where you're not going to be able to cleanly tell. It's one thing when it's a quest and it's like, yeah, you start here and then you do this and then you turn it in, and it's a very clear, same for everybody process. Whereas with Perception, where a lot of the meat and potatoes of like the lore and the story and the secrets and things like that are, and even like how you uncover and discover parts of the world and content that you wouldn't have access to otherwise, that flows through the perception system, which is predicated on a lot of interestingly nested like keys that are applied to the player based on lots of different potential things that they might do or say or interact with or loot or enemies they might talk to or kill or whatever. So I think there's some natural protection there from some of the things that we really want to safeguard. But I also like sites like that when it comes to guides, when it comes to class guides and like players that are enjoying the game. I mean, when you've got healthy fan sites, it means that the community's healthy and engaged and excited about the game. So it's mixed feelings.
Yeah. I mean, so I come from fan sites. That's where I got started. And I did all that. I wrote the guides and did the databases and all that. And I fully support those. I feel like you can't have a game and a community without that kind of stuff. And I think that we appreciate the support. I'm glad people care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Are we going to be able to link items in chat?
Yes, that's planned. I don't have an ETA on that. That'll be post start of the EA. But yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of little UI things like that we want to get in.
Oh, those are going to be fun. Right now, outside of specific camps, there's a lack of flavor assets throughout the world. Is that a way down the road thing, or do you feel like Throne Fest is done? Are we talking about? Oh, this was Finn wanting to know about set dressing, and I understand that you've been working on some set dressing in your stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got, so the King's Watch is a village, a human settlement city in Eastern Plains, and it's actually a pretty important human city. And they're going to be using a lot of human assets, human dwellings, and things like that. So it's knowing that we need to build out King's Watch. It was an opportunity to get things ready for King's Watch and also do some of that set dressing that the game's just been missing. It's missing. So yeah.
And show this guy
We're
where the
starting to work on
town
that.
is.
It's not going to be like having a complete team devoted to just going through and doing detailing, which we do need at some point. But it should move us a pretty good bit ahead when it comes to like the villages and the cities and things like that.
Yeah. So eventually we're going to get like a full pass where all that stuff is added. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, and I see Doug Bug's
Yeah.
comment there, and that's a great point, which is, it obviously extends well beyond just cities and villages. So we're talking about, fallen logs, mushrooms, butterflies, in the meadows, the little things like that, little things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The little things.
You know what Doug Bug means?
Yeah. That's all great
I know.
stuff. It just makes the ambience makes it feel like the world's alive. I dig it.
Yep.
With EA coming up, how much of a step will we see in combat feeling synced? Animations, the visual effects with sounds, etc.
I think where we have it right now is about as good as it's going to get, by the start of EA.
Okay.
Let us know if there's any like egregious things. I have gotten some good feedback the last few days on things like camera shake and some other things that are going on in VFX right now, especially in first person, that are causing some issues. So I know that's not related to like the syncing of everything, but there's still some passes to go on that. But I think the syncing is something that will improve as we're in EA, once we've crossed that point.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about advanced encounter system, which is on the tracker, and more specifically that it will only be utilized in instances, or will it also apply to open world targets?
It'll definitely apply to open world targets as well. But just to clarify, the advanced encounter system is what I would say is kind of a stretch goal for us. And that is like more of kind of the full scripting tool that allows us to script boss encounters or special NPC encounters where we want to dictate more special, specific, bespoke behavior and moments over the course of the fight. It gives us a little bit more control over what abilities are used and when and how and things like that as well, beyond just the normal combat system controls we have. But that's a stretch goal.
Your team is the last global gunslingers of a
Can we expect any advancements in graphics quality when Unity 6 is implemented in game? And will Unity 6
Alright,
happen
let's see if we can do a
before
wheel.
EA or after?
Right now,
Everybody
everybody
but me.
handle the Unity 6 conversion after EA begins.
We'll run through this
There will be
newbie area. We'll run around, see if we can find
some visual
skeletons. We'll
upgrades
kill
with
rats,
water,
snakes, whatever.
because we'll be using Unity's new water. And Kyle would be the better person to ask on
But at nighttime, there'll be plenty of skeletons
if there
around
will be
this
any
area.
other
They'll
specific
drop a
visual
second
improvements.
weapon because I think I get dual
I'm not
wield.
totally sure, except there is, but the one thing I'm about to say, it's not actually dependent on Unity 6, and that is global illumination. We do not have global illumination like dialed in right now, or even on at all, I don't think, because in earlier iterations of Unity and in earlier iterations of our own project, performance-wise, we didn't have enough headroom to incur like the performance penalty that global illumination has, but we now can. We now have plenty of headroom for that, and it's been optimized, even more and all that stuff. So that's on the list of things to do to just generally make the game look a lot better. I mean, you guys have learned watching Pantheon's development how big of a deal lighting is and how much difference it makes. Global illumination is a big part of like things looking really good. So anyway,
Do we know when we're getting our moons?
nope,
Nope.
not yet. I know.
ETA on swimming, because that's impacted by Unity 6, is it not?
It's not. It's not
Okay.
actually. So we are using a water system called Crest for our temporary water solution. If you watched my stream today or the one from yesterday, we got Crest in and took a look at it for the first time, and it's beautiful. But Unity 6 water is going to be a little bit more
God
performance,
damn it.
and also has some additional features that we want to
Somebody else
utilize.
pulled the forager, and that's what I was going for.
But
And targeted
swimming
the
is
damn-
something that we have slotted in as a goal for EA, and it's something Steve's going to be working on primarily. And his one of his recent statements on it was it could end up being even more work to try to just restrict it to surface swimming only. It would be easier just to make swimming work. So that
The
was great
guards
news.
killing
Made me really
everything.
happy to hear. So
That is great
that's
news.
yeah, that's kind of the plan right now, is to get swimming working, and we got some animation stuff to nail down there, and then it'll be. But yeah, it's on the road to EA getting that done.
So does that mean that people will be able to drown?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know why that makes me so happy, but it just really does.
Okay, good, great.
Underwater dungeons. Give us a second, guys. Come on. I don't have a whole lot of questions this go around, and I feel like that has something to do with the fact that you're answering a whole heck of a lot of questions in your stream. If you guys
Yeah.
haven't caught Joppa's stream, he shows the ins and outs of everything. Is
The ins and outs.
fishing, is that gonna look at you with a soundboard?
Oh man, yeah. I've been holding off. I've been trying to really control my.
Yeah, no, go nuts, go nuts.
Yeah. No. I'll wait till you least expect it. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's funnier that way, right? Fishing, is that gonna be coming since we're getting swimming?
They are not intrinsically related that much, but getting swimming working, getting like the water volume where the game recognizes where water is and how deep it is and all that kind of stuff, that's definitely a precursor to swimming, or I'm sorry, to fishing. But don't expect it to come like right on the heels of swimming.
Okay, all right. What classes are getting updates
Oh,
right
fucking
now?
guard.
What are you guys working on?
They need to leave.
The only class right now that goes up to level 40 with any abilities up to level 40 is the Necromancer. So in that sense, all of the classes are kind of in a state of being worked on, because by EA, they all need to have their abilities up to 40. There's a few classes that, like if I were going to identify the classes that need the most work and the most attention right now, it would be the Warrior, the Summoner, the DireLord, the Paladin, and my gosh, I've got to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody, or I'm going to get absolutely lambasted.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones that come to mind the most strongly as needing the most work.
Yeah.
But they all need work. They all need some time. And so they're all
working
kind of
on
in a state
those?
of being worked on.
Do you head that up?
Well, I do. I head it up, but Mark is doing the lion's share right now of the work on actually, implementing the changes that we're discussing, and building out the techniques that go along with the classes. And so yeah, that's definitely it's something that we collaborate on. But Mark also, has kind of taken the reins on the technique side of things, and then is also doing a lot of work, kind of realizing the classes. So it's a nice tag team right now.
Yeah.
It's really the key to is what's going to allow us to get it done in time.
Yeah, I saw that he's been getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
That's been very cool. When are we gonna get our ogre?
I just saw today in a patch that came through that we have a new round of fixes for the ogre animations, like kind of improvements to their run. Remember when you guys saw the run last time, it was really floaty and they were moving slower than their bodies were moving much slower than they were actually like moving on the ground. So I have not looked at that yet. I don't know if Bronson has either. So
There's a bug.
but assuming that's good, assuming those changes.
In case you didn't know, there's some kind of bug that when even summoner pets, when somebody's fighting, the pets run over and just help you for no reason. I mean, we kind of gotten used to it now, so we used to scream at each other, I don't need your help, but we just don't care now. Now let's see if I can pull this without the guard taking it. Let's see. Apparently not.
Changes stuck and they look good and they work well, then as far as I'm aware, they should be ready at that stage to make an appearance.
Are we gonna see those before EA? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know. Telsmer wants to know if we're keeping the limited hot bars, and I believe that's a heck yeah. But go ahead.
Hot bars, yeah.
Yes, we're keeping the limited hotbars in the sense that you're not going to be able to, have 6, 8, 10 different hotbars on your screen to put everything ability that you have out there. But I am considering, as we're moving through all this stuff, what it might look like to lift lift. Okay. Some of you might need to take a seat for this. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to respond to this the way I do on my stream, which is like, this is a conversation and I'm open to feedback. But the thought is potentially to lift the action and utility restriction and the technique restriction and just have the same amount of slots in the 2 bars, but you can put them kind of wherever you want.
I'm running around here looking for skeletons because I need a second weapon so I can dual wield.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Because
yeah,
I obviously
that gives
don't
us
have no money to
flexibility.
buy one.
Compromise.
I like
It's kind
it.
of a compromise to say, we're trying to, we kind of like the limit action set, but it feels really restrictive. But we can, I feel like if we lift that, it gives a little more freedom where it's like, okay, I want my, these kind of abilities, regardless of whether you're
And I'm not gonna cast my taunt.
It's just,
I just
like,
don't need to. It's just
they
me.
all, you just have 2 bars to do whatever you want with.
That's insane.
So just think about it.
I see
mean, like
some
I said,
pretty strong reactions here.
yeah. Just think about it.
Yeah,
somebody
let
Let me
marinate.
go up here
187
and
know.
sell.
He'll need to
I mean,
know.
It's getting
keep
dark.
in mind, like, yes, this does. So what this does, and think about this, because this is the part that you really need to think about, that I really need to think about, that we collectively really need to think about. Right now, there's a limit to the amount of buffs, utility type abilities you can have available at once. There's a limit to the amount of action abilities that you have at once, right? Depending on how this change is made, if we make it, then you would be able to kind of exceed those limitations. You're still limited in the total number of slots, and I'll be honest, if we do make a change like this, don't rule out the fact that we might reduce the number of, like, slots that exist, right? Like, so instead of there being 18, we might reduce that down to something smaller, to kind of compensate for the. But the point there is that you would have less overall slots usable. Like you might go from 18 slots to 12, but you can stack those 12 slots however you want. So if you wanted them all action abilities, if you wanted them all utility, if you wanted, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and there's other ways we can do it as well. But I'm just putting that out there.
That's another
Food
thing you guys
for thought.
can share your feelings on.
A lot more fire
You
beetles
can let us know
at night,
'cause,
and
you
skeletons
know,
should
I'd like
be
to hear what
around
you
there.
guys think. That's an interesting.
But since they put
Proposition.
this new patch in, the guards
on, that's
in the newbie areas are killing a
Ladu,
bunch of stuff.
EA pricing, dates, all of that. We have some information going out, I believe, next week. So just keep an eye out for it. I will take a couple more questions. Oh, what's coming up in the next update? And yeah, corpses. Corpses are a good time right now. Let's give Jabba a second.
They put in more skeletons because they put
No
in
matter
the
who you are,
Oh,
there are
sorry.
times it can be tough to be yourself when you have some.
Not sure.
Sorry.
You're fine.
That was my son. He was
Yeah.
asking me a question.
Yeah. We all have kids, guys.
Did you ask me about corpses? What did you say?
What's coming in the next update? Because corpses may be a thing right now.
Because corpses, they be a thing right now.
Yeah.
What's coming in the next update?
Yeah.
Because corpses, they be a thing right now.
Yeah. What's coming
There's
in
some
the
bugs,
next-
guys.
There's a few bugs.
There's a few
It's
bugs.
keeping me busy.
They're pretty minor. You know, nobody's losing hours worth of time to lost gear. Nobody's, having any problems related to corpses. So
Not at all.
it's minor.
Yeah. Just
It's minor. No, I'm kidding. I cringe saying that because I know that losing time is not.
Oh, it
is
hurts.
really no
It
bueno.
hurts. And then I have
Yeah.
to go in and tell people there's nothing I can do about your lost items. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm trolling big time right now. We are doing our best. It is
Complicated.
it's a tough bug. It's one of the toughest ones we've seen in a little while. So we are working on it. I know Steve has been putting a lot of time into trying to track that down and figure that out. So
He
hang in there.
is.
We are working on it.
Yeah,
Well-
and guys, when you have like any information on these things, I pass it off to them. Like I am constantly copying and pasting information to Steve so that, he gets it. So some of the stuff that you guys have posted has really helped. Can you tell us what improved animations mean on the road to early access? What is that? You mentioned it earlier.
Just making them look better.
That's pretty simple.
Not getting lucky on
it's-
any
I
weapon
I guess it
drops.
would be a combination of making them look better and then adding more as we go.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah. When are the servers gonna be locked?
I don't know, but
Last I
think-
heard,
Yeah.
that was a thing for E EA.
So yeah, I was gonna say that I don't know that you'll see that before the EA servers come up. That's when it would be live.
Yeah. And before Jiraki pops a vessel, we have added a FAQ on Discord. It has all the pertinent information, gets you started, gives you everything you need to know, of course, darling. And if you're not on Discord, you should be, because that's where all the information is. We're not talking about the Bard. All right. Anything else? Racial restrictions, when? Do we have an ETA on that?
That's a by EA thing. That's something that
Oh,
you
really?
probably won't see until the EA
In
servers come up.
combat with. Darn it.
If that means like restricting what classes you can
Yeah.
make by what race, yeah, that should be an EA thing.
Ooh, that's cool. I did not know that, guys. I learned something today.
And I don't know why the sound effects for cutting down trees and mining is gone.
Secondary keybinds to do something with 2 different keys, like movement. Secondary keybinds?
Yeah, I've got a note on secondary key bindings. We have not like made an action plan for that yet as far as where it slots in, but I've definitely got it captured.
Oh, no ogre monks. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna be real. I've got a sick kid, so we're not gonna make this go too much longer. Character customizations. Do we have any of those incoming before early access?
We should. Yeah. That should be in. It should be in some way, in
we
some form
made it
before early
3.
access. But on the off chance that it's not, because remember, everything shuts down on December 1st to kind of get prepared for early access. It will absolutely be in place by the start of early access.
Awesome. I do not have a time for supporters. They are working on they're trying real hard to get some bugs squashed and get some patch goodies going, and once that is in, they will open it up to supporters, but their ETA is sometime in the evening Pacific Standard Time. So that is what we are. Thank you guys. That is what we're expecting. Yeah, my littlest is sick. She's asleep not too far from me. Can't stop being a parent.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for this Q&A. We will be back again soon for another. If you need information, Joppa streams like what, twice a week? Are you streaming
3 times a week?
3 times a week?
Yeah.
Guys, it's great.
Sometimes
streams.
more.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
Whenever
but,
you feel
but yeah,
like
3
it,
times
right?
a week. I mean, that's right. That's right.
That is right. You guys, if you want information, you need to catch his streams, because he drops the beans ridiculously over there. It's just mad. Whoa. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Joppa, for answering questions.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I like that one.
Sorry. Can I do one more in honor of Bronson?
One more. That sounded like a shart. That sounded like sharding.
You're welcome. Shout out, Bronson.
Love you, Bronson. All right, guys, have a good night. We love you. Thank you for all of the support, and we're gonna make it into early access. You guys are coming with us. Pledge if you need it. Love you guys. Later.
Thanks all. See ya.
Well, there you have it. If you've been following the game, then you know what's going on. Let's see here. One-handed. I can. Problem with dual wielding, when it's dark, it's dark. Alright. Let my dog back in or out. I don't know. One always goes in, one goes out. I don't get it. See if we start killing stuff faster now. Oh, this is a shambling skeleton. They're a little harder. If I remember right, these guys. Oh no, Spider-Man. Oh, he got a weapon. He wanted it. Apparently he wanted it more than I did. MMO, what do you expect? And I might have jumped the gun. I might have tried to pull it from him. I don't know. Ah, fucking guard. All that's cloth, but it's better than nothing. What the hell? Oh, that's a dweller. See? That's my own fault. Trying to be greedy. And holy shit, is it dark. Level 5, you have to go get your corpse and stuff, loot your corpse, but up until then, it's a freebie. It's pretty dark. I don't know if the sword. That's pretty close. Gotta get that jute, man. That's high commodity. You can trade it for stuff. You sell a couple stacks of jute, I can buy all my mail armor for this guy. I'm gonna change my playing from 0 to 6, 0 to 4. Because I feel like 4 you can start grouping and having a good time. I mean, you can group at level 1, obviously, but I just feel like you don't know how to play at level 1. Fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here, watch guard. These things complete heal. That's why I haven't been messing with them. Not that they're hard to kill, it's just annoying. I think I got a sword, another sword. Let me see. I know DireLords are supposed to be like two-handed weapons, I think, and dual axes, but I'm level 3. I don't got epic gear yet. And I say yet because this all gets wiped in a month and a couple days. A month and 5 days or something, I don't know. And you can see my food and water. You gotta eat. Why did that yellow jacket say let me rest a minute? I don't know. Looking strange badge on some things. There's 4. Yay, me. Alright, folks. That's all I'm going to play for now. I want to go eat some lunch. I doubt I continue this guy to 6. It's a little slow pace for me. And of course, I could join a group and we'll be running now around here. It's basically split up, just getting XP, each killing something. So that's why I tend to play until about 6. Because then you can move on to the skellies and you'll need a group. Okay, technically you could do it solo, but you don't want to do it solo. You have more downtime, so you get a group around 6 in this game. Of course, you could group at level 1 if that's your thing. But anyways, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope the audio is finally fixed on this. I think I got it all working. I hope I do. If I don't, I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll get better. Again, like and subscribe. And as soon as early out, because we were going to start streaming, but figured why, because then everybody's going to have to watch it all over again in December. So we'll start live streaming after December. I might live stream a few other games during that time. we'll just see how it goes. I get up in the morning and flip a coin on if I'm gonna go hang out at the lake and go fishing or play video games. Just never know. All right, thanks guys.